when we look at what the effects of virtual reality are on your kind of neural system in general, the issue with the brain is that it doesn't know the difference between that which is simulated and that which is actual. If you don't believe that, just look at this. An astronaut practices being an astronaut in a virtual setting before they become an astronaut. At NASA, they have a simulator, a vertical simulator they put people in, and they practice landing on the moon. They practice landing the space shuttle. And all that's done in virtual world. And the brain learns how to do these activities and then does the activity in the actual setting. So even in the Iraq War, they had drone strikes where you were playing a game to throw down the weapons and bombs, and it was something that was all in virtual reality. So what does that mean? It means that the brain, when you have an experience, it doesn't matter if it's in simulation or if it's actually in reality. So the question then is, how do we know the difference? Well, we know the difference through the idea of anything else. We need to have strong parenting. We need teacher involvement. We need community involvement to actually educate kids that there is a difference. So if we don't do that, we're going to have kids that check out completely and just live in virtual worlds. Because that virtual world can be addicting. When let's say you're someone who's insecure, you've been bullied, all of these activities, you could just end up checking out from reality completely and living in the virtual world, and that's where you want to reside. Now then you have to think about this. In that virtual world, what's going to happen, right? And what I mean by that, is this a world with no rules? Is this a world where we encourage and elicit violent behavior? And then what happens when we take you out of that world? Will you then practice that same behavior? So we've seen the University of Iowa in the year 2000 actually did an empirical study on the effects of violent games on behavior, both boys and girls. And they proved that the exposure to violence increases aggressive behavior patterns. So we're not saying playing a violent game is going to make you go and do something violent. We're saying that without the correct interventions and parenting and guidance, kids that are lost will become violent. And that's proven. Now, in 2014, Iowa State University also did a study on, okay, does it matter if it's a boy or a girl? What if we tried empathy? Would that also work? And what they found is that you can actually do the same thing with empathy. You can have something positive for the kids, and it's proof that after they're off the system, their empathy increases. So what does that tell you? It means that the brain is learning behavior based on doing these kinds of activities. Now, next step, let's put it in virtual reality. Now we're talking about a game where you're looking at a screen. Let's put you inside the experience. What happens there? Well, my thesis that I wrote in 2000 was the aspect of advanced learning systems. You will learn in the way you learn. It'll be optimized learning environment. In an optimized learning environment, what do you want the child to learn? Whatever it is you put in that environment, they're going to learn it on a level that we are only beginning to understand. There are universities around the world studying this right now. There's one outside of Paris that actually has biofeedback systems and sensors set up to see what part of the brain is excited when these various activities happen. So what I'm saying is that we don't even really know what the effects could be. So our best case then is to put alternatives and ethics within the content to the extent that we can. We're not talking about censorship. We're talking about alternative, exciting experiences, which we want to create through SciAward so that kids have a way that they can have fun, have these great experiences, but create something positive for the community at the same time.